Philadelphia Phillies after taking the opener last night. An ideal evening for baseball as we welcome you to the nightcap of our two-sport triple-header here on Fox. Come on, step inside and welcome. I am Chris Rose, joined as always by Eric Karros, and with us throughout the NLCS, the Wild Thing from MLB Network, Mitch Williams, a man who has his finger on the pulse of this city. And Mitch, I'm guessing they're down 0-1 in a best-of-7 series. Everybody's remaining nice and calm these days.
Absolutely. The fans here in Philadelphia are never going to panic. They had their ace, Roy Halladay, on the mound last night. They lost. The fans are not going to panic over that. I'm going to continue to look straight at the camera, because if I turn sideways, you'll see my nose growing because I'm lying. They're panicking. They need this win.
All right, try this one on for size, guys. No team has ever lost the first two games of an LCS series at home and then went on to win the series. 0-18 all time. So does that make tonight's game a must-win for Philadelphia?
For me, absolutely, it's a must-win.
Well, you know, I agree with Mitch. And I don't like to place the game all on one guy, but I'm going to do it tonight. Shane Victorino of the Philadelphia Phillies. Last night, 0 for 5 at the top of the lineup. He's got to get things started. He has success against Jonathan Sanchez, but he runs the bases, and that's why the Phillies have the edge in this series. Look, if you're fast and you don't run, you're not fast.
And trust me, Eric knows a lot about not fast. I played against him. He was not fast. I look at it from a managerial standpoint. You go over scenarios in your head as a manager. Charlie Manuel has not gone over an 0-2 start scenario. If they fall 0-2, he's going to have to go to Halladay in Game 4. That eliminates Blanton.
Well, guys, of course, we are wrapping up a huge day of sports here on Fox. Ryan Howard was hanging out with the Goose as the Eagles beat the Falcons, and then, well, he took the executive box shuttle over to the yard. What do you tip a green furry limo driver anyway?
I don't know what to tip him. I'm trying to figure out why Siragusa changed clothes to give him a ride, though.
He's going to get you. You can also take a shot at victory by entering for a chance to win postseason tickets or an all-new 2011 Chevrolet Cruze at worldseries.com/cruise. We're back with more after this. the Chevrolet pregame show on Fox. It's time now for the singing of our national anthem. For that, let's send it over to the public address announcer, Dan Baker.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please stand and help us honor the United States of America? Out of respect for our country, we ask that you please remove your hats as the Pennsylvania Air National Guard Heritage Brass Quintet performs our national anthem.
Coming up, we'll break down the pitching matchup between Sanchez and Oswalt, plus a late scratch in the Giants lineup. We'll tell you who's sitting and why when we come back. Chevrolet pregame show on Fox. Another great pitching matchup in Game 2 tonight. Jonathan Sanchez was arguably the Giants' best pitcher over the last 6 weeks of the season. Meanwhile, the Phillies go with Roy Oswalt, who was brought over from Houston back in July to pitch in big games just like this. Now, Eric Karros, Bruce Bochy, opened some eyes before the series when he said Jonathan Sanchez would start Game 2 instead of Matt Cain, in part to neutralize the Phillies' left-handed hitters. You like that move?
I do. I've got to give you 2 numbers right now. 7. That's 7 RBIs left-handed hitters have against Jonathan Sanchez this year, and 204. That's what hitters hit against Jonathan Sanchez. So hits are far and few between. In a nutshell, Jonathan Sanchez is hard. He throws hard, and he's even harder to hit.
And Eric, his counterpart tonight on the mound will be Roy Oswalt, who was brought here for this reason. He is 9-0 in this stadium. He is going to go out there tonight. He's going to look to elevate the ball with his fastball and change speeds with his curveball, with his changeup, whatever it may be. He is going to continuously try to change those hitters' eyes.
Well, guys, one bad note for the San Francisco Giants. One of the hitting stars last night, Juan Uribe, originally in the starting lineup, has been scratched because of a contusion on his left wrist. He's been replaced by Edgar Renteria. Well, 2 guys that'll go whether they're healthy or not, standing by across the field. We'll send it on over to Joe Buck and Tim McCarver to take you the rest of the way. Guys, it's yours.
All right, Chris, thanks. Yeah, we're healthy. I mean, it's early, but give us time. We'll break down at some point. Last night we came on the air talking about that great pitching matchup, and it was good, not great. Lincecum and Halladay, 4 home runs hit total, 2 for each side. But the Giants won Game 1. And so now tonight, as the guys just talked about, Roy Oswalt, who was the 2005 NLCS MVP while he was with the Houston Astros, has got to step up big for the Phillies. And so that brings us to the matchup. And on the other side, it's Jonathan Sanchez. The guy's touched on it. If people across the country don't know much about him, he can be really nasty.
Work cut out for the Phillies is understating things tonight, because Jonathan Sanchez has been not only a good pitcher, he's been red hot. 3-1 against the Phillies, 4-0 in September. And look at that tiny, tiny earned run average, and the opponent's average only 129. So the Phillies have to hit tonight. Think about it. If they go to San Francisco on Tuesday and play down 0-2, a team with all that momentum, I'm not saying tonight's a must-win, but they better win.
So far, the Giants, who are up in this series, have been living on the edge.
5 straight one-run playoff games have kept San Francisco fans tortured on the edge of their seats. The Giants' determination has them marching on to a 1-0 NLCS lead. Will it continue, or will the other Roy, an ace in his own right, help the Phillies even the series? Game 2 is next. Tonight's game is sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. By Verizon Wireless, introducing the Droid X, the next generation of does. And by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Beautiful night. This is the 17th of October, and the weather couldn't be better. 59 degrees, nice breeze blowing through the park. We all know it could be a lot colder. Time for the Taco Bell starting lineup for the Giants. Taco Bell think outside the bun. Here you go. Andres Torres leads it off in center. Freddie Sanchez bats second. Aubrey Huff hits third. In the middle, Buster Posey, the rookie. Pat Burrell, the former Philly. Cody Ross, the hero so far, has moved up to sixth because of the wrist injury suffered by Juan Uribe. Fontenot stays put. Edgar Renteria is batting in the 8th spot, and then Jonathan Sanchez. It's ninth. And all that against Roy Oswalt, the right-hander, lifer with the Houston Astros until he was traded here, and he has not lost as a Philly in this park.
He's changed his style just a bit. He has a full assortment of pitches, but he's throwing more change-ups since becoming a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. He has not been beaten in a Philly uniform in this ballpark. 5-0 in 6 starts, and he is a tough competitor.
Tonight's opening pitch is sponsored by Budweiser, official beer of the thirst inning. A beer that starts with a full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Glad you're with us. Here's Torres trying to get it going for the Giants, and he takes inside ball one. Home plate umpire is Dan Iasonia. He's in charge of the balls and strikes here tonight. Here's a 1-0. Chased it. The ball and a strike. Here are the rest of them. Ted Barrett is at first. Wally Bell at second. Jeff Nelson is at third. Tom Hallion down the left field line, and Darryl Cousins, who worked the plate, is in right. Chased it again. Strike two. Since traded here to Philadelphia from the Astros, that's what he's done. Part of the big three.
Don't look for any pitch to speed up the bat. Torres will get another fastball here.
1-0. Take a look at the defense for Philadelphia. No surprises, no changes. Ibanez, Victorino, Worth in the outfield with Polanco, Rollins, Utley, and Howard. Catcher is Ruiz. Receiving Roy Oswalt. Freddie Sanchez. Last night 0 for 5. Ball high.
Boy, you talk about an adrenaline rush. Oswalt has one tonight.
That skips in ball two. Oswalt pitched game 2 of the division series against Cincinnati, got a no decision. He went 5, allowed 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 5 hits, struck out 5, walked 1, and the Phillies rallied in the 5th, down 4-0. Cincinnati committed 4 errors in that game. Game 2 of the 3-game sweep. To the shortstop. Rollins has time. Skips it in. 2 gone. So the late lineup change. Juan Uribe is out, and for more on that, we go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, Juan Uribe was fine last night, but he came in today, took 2 swings off a tee in the batting cage. The first one hurt. The second one was worse. He'll have an MRI tomorrow, but Bruce Bochy told me the Giants trainers believe he could be ready for Game 3.
All right, well, thanks, Ken. And that's a big piece of the puzzle that's not in there. A guy who hit a career-high 24 home runs during the regular season. The everyday shortstop. Here's Huff. Strike 1. Good, crisp fastball for Oswalt here in the opening inning. Aubrey Huff had a hit last night, 5 for 19 so far this postseason. Strike 2. slapped into left. Ibanez going to it. Good start for Oswald. Down they go. 1, 2, 3. By E-Trade, by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. By Rogue Skyline on November 12th. Our first encounter will be our last. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. How about Charlie Manuel's lineup, brought to you by Taco Bell? Think outside the bun. Here they are.
Shane Victorino. My nickname is a Fly in Hawaii.
Chase Utley. Growing up, I was a big Dodger fan.
Placido Polanco, third base.
Ryan Howard. My nickname is the Big Piece.
Jason Worth, right field.
Jimmy Rollins. When I was a kid, I really enjoyed to watch Ricky Henderson play. Run, Ricky, run.
Raul Ibanez, and growing up, my favorite player was George Brett.
Carlos Ruiz. My nickname is Chooch.
Roy Oswalt, pitcher.
Roy was dragged into that kicking and screaming, it looks like. Here's Jonathan Sanchez, the left-hander. So good in his one start against Atlanta when he struck out 11.
Jonathan Sanchez, 6 feet tall, 194 pounds, and you wouldn't think that he had small hands that make it very difficult to grip an off-speed pitch, but he does. He's sneaky fast, rarely goes above 90, occasionally 91. And he will use a slide step with runners on.
Victorino went up there, obviously taking the first pitch, and you have to believe the Phillies will try and wait out Jonathan Sanchez and hope that he gets wild. A check swing foul. When Sanchez is in the strike zone, he is the hardest to hit. Opponents hit just 204 against him during the regular season. That's the lowest average against. However, he led the National League category he didn't want any part of, and that was in walks. He walked 96 in under 200 innings. But he's been good here and good against the Phillies, and he starts with a strikeout at Victorino. 1 up, 1 down, 3 pitches and a strikeout.
That's what happens when you go up and take pitches on a guy who is wild. You get behind, and 0-2, he threads the needle.
More strikeouts. That's been the problem for Philadelphia. Last night they struck out 13 times against the combination of Lincecum, Lopez, and Brian Wilson. And when we talked to Charlie Manuel before the game, he said something that was pretty revealing as Utley takes inside ball 1. He said, you know, a lot of people don't realize that we've struggled not just this season swinging the bats and having a consistent attack, but you can go back to midway last year. We haven't been that good. People get caught up with the names on the back of the jerseys. Remember how it was, but we need to get it going. Ball 2, 2-0 on Utley, who's moved up. to the number 2 spot. Polanco moved down, hitting third. He's next.
Yeah, Charlie's saying that a lot of people are thinking about who we were instead of who we are.
2-0. That's ball 3. Philly team so far this postseason is hitting .212 as a group. There are the career numbers for Utley against Sanchez. We've seen the good and the bad. A strikeout followed by walk.
Now we can explain what a slide step is. You don't use a slide step if you're a baseball fan unless someone is on. So in order to cut down the motion and the speed of the runner at first base, you keep your right leg, if you're a left-handed pitcher, close to the ground when you're delivering the ball, as opposed to the high leg kick that takes more time.
Here is Polanco, chokes way up on the bat. There goes Utley. Throw by Posey is too late.
And when you don't slide step, this happens. High right leg. Utley with a good jump. Posey a pretty good throw, not in time.
The 0-1, strike 2 on Polanco. Charlie Manuel at his desk was going over the times for Sanchez delivering the ball to the plate before the game and looking at the readings, stopwatch readings, for 1.5 seconds, saying we can run on that.
1.55 when Sanchez lifts his leg. But of course, the slide step, he's quicker to home plate.
Counts 0-2 on Polanco. Runner at second, 1 out. Just inside. This is a Philadelphia team that has struggled with runners in scoring position. They did so last night, obviously. Hitless in this type situation. Polanco could give the Phillies a first inning lead. In the hole at 1-2. Polanco missed game 1 of the division series, had back spasms. That's not a factor anymore. You see the guard on his left elbow. He's got bone chips floating around in there. That is a factor.
Placido Polanco led the National League in hitting with 2 strikes. He had 272. Think about that. 272 was the highest average in the National League by any hitter with 2 strikes.
Polanco wants to reset. Foul ball. Polanco is one of the more consistent hitters you will find. Not just good with 2 strikes, but he's hit 280 or better for 11 straight seasons.
We almost saw third base coach Sam Palazzo get hit. The reason for that is Sam is way in front of the third base coacher's box just in case Polanco gets a hit. So Palazzo will be in a good position to wave Utley home. That's probably the most abused thing in baseball. Coaches out of the coaching box. All of them do it.
left side. Fontenot makes the play. And safe at first. Ball gets away. Polanco will have to get back to the bag, and going to third is Utley. Pump pulled his foot off the base and then couldn't corral the throw. First and third, 1 out.
Well, a first baseman has to make that decision on a low throw toward home plate. Can I keep my foot on the bag and still catch the ball? The answer in this particular situation, no. Hit the webbing of the glove, kind of caromed out toward the shallow right field, and the Phillies with a golden opportunity to score here in the first inning.
When the ball got away, Utley took third. Polanco thought about going to second, but came back to the bag. He had rounded it, so he had to get back to the base. It's a straight error on Fontenot. See the right fielder coming in. That's Ross to back up. But it's an error in the second of the postseason on Fontenot, who is at third base. In large part because of his range and his defense, which is superior to that of Pablo Sandoval. And here is a golden opportunity for Ryan Howard and the Phillies. Lefty on lefty, Sanchez. With blocked by Posey. Howard this year hit .262 against left-handed pitching. With a .226 hitter against lefties coming in. There are the numbers in his career against Jonathan Sanchez. Swing foul. Ball and a strike.
That gives you an idea of how difficult Sanchez is to pick up. We've already seen a check swing by Victorino and a check swing by Howard. Pitching coaches love to see this from the opposing hitters. That means that the ball is very, very difficult to pick up, and that's how Sanchez can get away with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
On the outside corner, strike 2. Ryan Howard, who today was across the street at the Eagles game, part of the Fox broadcast there. Got the ride over and getting a chance here in the first to make a difference. Posey again with a good block, 2-2.
Breaking balls are easier to block for a catcher because they go down with the breaking balls when they're in the dirt. Good play on the first pitch and a good play to make it 2-2. Very nice. Posey, a remarkable athlete, did not start catching until a sophomore year at Florida State.
Here comes a 2-2. Howard flips it down the left field line, and that ball will get out of play. Talk about being patient at the plate for the Phillies. This will be the 20th pitch coming already from Sanchez here in the first, only 1 out. Full count.
I tell you, Howard strikes out so much, I don't think Polanco, who is not a fast runner, is going to be going here. I don't think he could take that chance.
Howard with a good at bat. Breeze blowing from left to right as it did last night. Wind died down as the night went on.
When Ryan Howard gets a hold of one, he creates his own breeze.
load him up. 2 walks, an error in the inning, and the bases are loaded. Dave Righetti will come out and talk to Jonathan Sanchez. Let's go back to that play at first base on the error by Fontenot. Ball came up on him, and then the wide throw at first. Eric Karros is with us from his spot out in our set. You've had to handle throws like that from infielders, Eric?
Well, 2 things. Aubrey Huff could have come off the bag to make the catch and apply the tag. Also, notice where Polanco is running down the baseline. Clearly inside the baseline. The umpires normally don't make that call unless it's a bunt situation, but that was something that could have been explored right there.
And while we were in replays, Bruce Bochy came out and had a mild argument with the home plate umpire Dan Iasonia about where Polanco was running down the first baseline. But as it is, a walk followed, and now the bases are loaded for Jason Worth. Strike 1. Worth went deep last night. Hit 27 home runs during the regular season. That's strike 2.
We talked about it in last night's game. Even though Jason Worth struck out 147 times this year, he was second in 2-out, 2-strike hits with 85.
Worth is hitless in his career against Sanchez. With 6 Ks. Ball 1.
0 for 12.
What a chance for Philadelphia, down 1-0 in games in this best of 7 NLCS. A 1-2. Got him looking. A high strike, and Worth goes down. Watching that 1-2 pitch from Sanchez, 2 out.
I think Worth thought this pitch was high, but the Giants get the call. Sometimes you get away with hanging breaking balls.
And now it's up to Jimmy Rollins, who was 1 for 15 this postseason. Last night struck out 3 times. Ball 1 high. There was some thought given to moving Jimmy Rollins back up into the leadoff spot to try and get him jump-started. Phillies need Rollins to figure it out. Bases loaded, 2 out. And ball 2. Rollins 1 for 16 in his career against this left-hander. Two and 1. Rollins, a former MVP. Played in just 88 games this season, 2 leg injuries. And now Rollins hops out. Just 88 games for Rollins and a career low for Jimmy. An average, runs, hits. One of the better players in the National League. Trying to get it going here in October. That's ball 3.
puts Philadelphia on top. A bases-loaded walk to Jimmy Rollins, 1-0 Phillies. And that was a close pitch.
So you had the guys on the Philly bench up in arms on the pitch to Jason Worth. And now Bruce Bochy complaining about what appeared to be an inside strike to Jimmy Rollins. And Bochy's reaction.
He doesn't have a great view of it in the dugout, but he's got every reason to complain. That pitch was right there.
Yeah, from the dugout, you don't have a good view east or west, outside, inside, but you do. You can tell whether the ball is knee high or not.
Here's Ibanez, strike one. And now Iasonia is going to make Jonathan Sanchez tuck in his shirt. And action starts with Guillermo Mota for the Giants in their bullpen. Sanchez was moved up. He started game 3 in the division series. Bruce Bochy wanted to go right-hander, left-hander, right-hander, left-hander. Kane is set for game 3 on Tuesday. That's strike 2 on Ibanez.
Joe, you talked about it on the first hitter, Shane Victorino. It is clear what the Phillies are trying to do. All 7 batters have taken the first pitch here in the first inning.
Ball 1. This will be the 35th pitch of this first inning for Sanchez. Ibanez strikes out, and the Phillies get just 1. They have their first lead in this series, and it came on a bases-loaded walk to Jimmy Rollins. 1-0 Philadelphia after 1 in game 2. rookie Buster Posey will lead it off. Boy, Oswalt had a perfect first inning. He struck out Torres and got a ground ball from Sanchez. Huff flied out to left. And the Phillies were handed 3 walks, struck out 3 times in their half of the first. Pushed one across on a bases loaded walk to Jimmy Rollins. So 1-0 Philadelphia after 1. Posey, who was 1 for 4 last night, deals with Oswalt. Takes the ball. Saw Jonathan Sanchez head off the field after that long first, in which he threw 35 pitches. And he had a chat with the home plate umpire, Dan Iassogna, on his way back to the dugout. Here's a 1-0. 2-0.
Here it is right here, but in fairness, you know he's talking about that 3-1 pitch to Jimmy Rollins. But if you're going to talk about the 3-1 pitch, you've got to think about the 0-2 pitch to Jason Worth that Iassogna was liberal with.
Now the count's gone to 3-0 from Oswalt to Posey. The 3-0 is in for strike 1.
Ideal hitting situation for Posey right here. He'll look for an inside fastball.
He flies one into center. Victorino back. Still going. Ball really carrying and a catch to start the inning. And a smile from Victorino. He had to go a mile. And ended up on his backside with a wind really pushing that ball out into deep center field. 1 out.
Well, you heard Shane's nickname, the Flying Hawaiian, and he was flying here and upended. Great play by Victorino. That's a tough play with fighting the wind that's blowing out to right field. No doubt helping that ball.
Victorino was coasting and really had to turn it on. 2-time Gold Glove Award winner had enough to get there. 1 out. Victorino, one of the most likable guys you could run across in any clubhouse. Always seems to play with a smile on his face, and a guy who will turn 30 next month. And when that happens, baseball will be over for the year. This entire lineup will be 30 years old or older for Philadelphia.
It's the oldest team the Phillies have ever had. Position players, the 1983 Phillies were the oldest. They were nicknamed the Wheeze Kids.
Here's a 1-0 Burrell. Former Philly takes a strike.
That was, of course, a play on the 1950s Whiz Kids who made it to the World Series.
Here's a 1-1. Pop-up, left side, foul ball. Polanco has a play. 2 out.
Well, I think the wind helped that ball stay in the ballpark.
With the bases empty, here is that man, Cody Ross, who went deep twice last night. You see his number, 6 for 17 this postseason. He has hit 8 home runs in this park in the last 20 games he's played here. He got a lot of action here when he was with the Florida Marlins. They put him on waivers. Giants claimed him to keep him away from San Diego, and he has been their offensive hero.
Waved into the postseason.
Oswalt comes right after him with a fastball, strike 1. It's a ball and a strike. Oswalt, the 33-year-old right-hander from Mississippi. 23rd round pick for Houston back in '96. And he spins Ross off the plate to the crowd's delight.
Well, that's what Oswalt will do. This is National League Baseball. Cody Ross with a couple of home runs in last night's game and a little chin music. Not all hitters like that tune, however.
Ross's eyes are a little wider with this 2-1 pitch. Ball 3. On deck is Fontenot, who made an error in the bottom of the first. Originally drafted by the Tigers in his 7th MLB season. Picked up 22nd of August. That misses for a 2-out walk, and the Giants have their first base runner of the night. Let's take a look at that last pitch. Tailing action did not come back enough. So Cody Ross is on, and here's Fontenot, who started the season, who has played the big leagues with the Cubs. Now they're getting picked up by the Giants. Strike 1. Fontenot in an August trade for a minor leaguer came to San Francisco, and now here in the postseason he's taken over third base for Pablo Sandoval. Last year was number 2 in the National League, hit .330 in his first full year in the big leagues, but he's on the bench. Strike 2.
Good changeup from Oswalt. He has really worked hard on that pitch with pitching coach Rich Doobie, who's one of the best in the business at teaching the changeup.
The 0-2 pitch. Down and in, ball 1. Talk about Sandoval, who is a fan favorite in San Francisco. Bruce Bochy has made some decisions here along with Brian Sabian. They have not been emotional with those decisions, and they haven't been worried about whose bank account is the biggest when they've selected their starting lineup or their roster in the case of Barry Zito. That's strike 3. And strikeout number 2 for Oswalt. Bottom of inning number 2. Phillies coming up, leading 1-0. The land of the cheesesteak, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Here is our AT&T trivia question. How many times has a team lost the first 2 games of a postseason series at home and then gone on to win the series? It has not happened in the LCS play. We've already talked about that 74 times here tonight.
First year of division play was 1969. The first year of the wild card was 1995.
There's a note on Ruiz. 24 straight postseason games he's reached base. He checks on Fontenot. Good pickup on a short hop, 1 out. Ruiz now 1 for 4 in this series. He hit a home run to right last night. I'll bring in Roy Oswalt. Even though Philadelphia got just 1 run, they made Sanchez work. 35 pitches in the first inning. Sanchez works tonight on 6 days of rest. Oswalt pitches tonight on 8 days of rest. Ball 1.
That's the one problem with Sanchez when he's been wild with that fastball. It's been up and away to right-handed batters, not finishing his pitch.
Here is a 1-0 on the outside corner. Ball and strike. You know, we have a left-hander on our Fox staff.
I know that.
Now, who's with us in Philadelphia and who wore this uniform and wore it proudly.
He'll be going to San Francisco tomorrow.
Here's a ground ball to the second baseman. Sanchez takes care of Oswalt, 2 out. Talking about Mitch Wild Thing Williams. And this is about his violent emotion, high leg kick. And then he would let it fly. Showed off the vertical. Mitch, you're with us. What are you seeing out there from Sanchez so far tonight?
Well, the first thing I noticed, guys, is that the Phillies hitters are going up there taking pitches. And I can tell you from a guy that struggled with control, there was nothing I hated more than knowing hitters were taking. It messes with your mind. And I think it's gotten to Sanchez a little bit early.
He walked 3 in the first. He struck out 3. And now he deals to Victorino, who fouls one out of play. Sanchez tries to settle in here tonight. Victorino struck out on 3 pitches in his first at bat. And a walk, an error, a walk, eventually a 2-out bases loaded walk. And Victorino lines one into left, a late break but a catch by Pat Burrell. Let's go to the 3rd inning here in game 2. 1-0 Philadelphia. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. Get movies a month before Netflix with DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Edgar Renteria, who was told at 6:30 that he would get the start tonight in place of the injured Juan Uribe, who's out with a bad wrist. Injured last night in a slide into second base. Leads it off, takes a strike. And now a little pop-up into right. Renteria is retired for out number 1 here in the third. Here's Uribe. Nice to be able to go to your bench and count on a guy like Renteria, who is now in his 5th LCS. He's played on 2 World Series teams. He already has a World Series game-winning hit. Back in '97 with the Marlins, he was on the short end in 2004 when his Cardinals played the Red Sox.
You can forget that hit by Renteria as a member of the Marlins off Charles Nagy in the 11th inning. Back through the middle to win it for the Marlins.
Sanchez takes a strike. The ball and a strike. Jonathan is 0 for 3 in the postseason. Swinging the bat. 8 for 58 during the regular season. Here's strike 2. For those of you who haven't seen much of the San Francisco Giants this season, we'll give you a quick season review after Sanchez does something like that. Strikeout number 3. Out number 2. 67 and 48 since Buster Posey joined the big league club. Best ERA in the big leagues. How about their September ERA? 1.78. Best since divisional play started in 1969. And their starting pitchers in the division series, an ERA under 1. 36 strikeouts and a record of 2-0. That includes Matt Cain, who will get the ball in game 3 when he takes on Cole Hamels. He's coming off a 5-hit shutout. Game 3 of the division series at Cincinnati. No swing and the count 2-0. Cole Hamels, who was the NLCS and the World Series MVP back in '08, struggled last year in the playoffs. He gets the ball on Tuesday. It's an afternoon start in San Francisco. 2-1 now on Torres. Two.
Cole Hamels may be throwing harder than at any other time in his career.
The 2-2 from Oswalt. Roy Oswalt is on. He struck out 4. He and the Phillies lead 1-0 after 2.5 in game 2. Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by Ink. The new business card from Chase. Make your mark with Ink. It has been a long and a fun day for sports fans in Philadelphia to this point. Their Eagles took apart the Atlanta Falcons. Good day for Kevin Cobb. We have to hope that Deshaun Jackson is okay. Word was that he did suffer a concussion with that nasty hit he got from Dante Robinson. They both went down on that play. It was just good to see both of them get up and be able to walk off. But a good game from Cobb and a win for the Eagles. And now the Phillies, who lead 1-0 here in the third inning, sent the big bats to the plate. Utley with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Polanco and Ryan Howard. He'll follow Chase Utley to the plate. Ball 2. Two and 2. Utley walked and stole a base in the first. Missed 47 games, had surgery on his right thumb during the season, but was good down the stretch. Missed 30 games, hit .313, popped 5 home runs. And he chases one here, up, strikes out. That's strikeout number 4 for Jonathan Sanchez. Out number 1, the hitting coach for the San Francisco Giants, Hensley Mullins, we visited during the last break. First question was about Oswalt, but the Giants have their hands full.
Yes, he's been pitching good, and we know we had to be on our A game today to beat him, but he's pitching good so far. There's a lot of game left, and we just have to make sure that we get a pitch in our area to get after it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if there is one plan of attack against Oswalt, what would it be, and what are you looking for? Because he's not totally relying on power. He's got that good changeup now.
Well, but you got to stay in his fastball. Obviously he's been throwing more changeups here of late. He's got also a slider and a curveball. But you got to stay on his fastball because he's throwing the ball in the 93, 94 mile an hour range. So you can't get off of that looking for off-speed pitches. But you got to keep it back in hand that he's got a good changeup going too.
Matt Burrell hauls in that fly ball off the bat of Polanco. 2 out here as Sanchez is settled in, and it will bring in Ryan Howard, who drew a walk in the first inning. So while Oswalt is dealing on one side, Sanchez has been allowed to settle in after throwing 35 pitches in the first inning. Now he's retired the last 6.
And according to Hoyle, thus far through this game, Sanchez, who led the major leagues in walks per 9 innings, walked 3 in the first inning and walked in the only run of the ball game.
It's outside, ball 1.
You can see Ryan Howard getting that front shoulder, trying to make himself keep that front shoulder in and go to left field. That's when he's most effective, particularly against left-handed pitching.
2 out, nobody on. Here's a 1-0. Skips in. Last night you talked about the body language of Cody Ross and the confidence that he exuded when he stepped in right before he hit his second home run. The body language of Jonathan Sanchez is at the other end of the spectrum. Kind of a slow, plodding, not really getting it, getting on top, looking in, getting a sign. Still hasn't really settled in as Howard 220 to left center field. Well hit. This ball takes a bounce and goes out of play for a ground rule double. Second double of this series for Ryan Howard, and the Phillies have a runner at second, 2 out.
So going to left center field, they remember after the first pitch, trying to remind himself to keep the shoulder in. That's when he's best, hitting the ball to left field. He gets a fastball on the outside part and drills it to left center.
Brings in Jason Worth, who struck out with the bases loaded in the first inning and is now 0 for 13 in his career against Sanchez. The knees, strike one. Sanchez, who threw a no-hitter July 10th of last year at home against San Diego. In the midst of an 8-12 season in 09. 13-game winner this season. Tie. Ball and a strike.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy thinks so much of Sanchez. He started him the last game of the season, a game that they had to win against San Diego at AT&T Park in San Francisco. And Sanchez was the winner.
Here's a 1-1. Ball two. Here's a 2-1. Fastball's fouled straight back. 2-2.
You may remember after the first pitch to Ryan Howard, a pitch that was a ball, he got out of the batter's box and kind of tucked his right shoulder. Watch. That's it. And sure enough, it worked. Fastball outside part of the plate to left center field for a double, the first hit of the game.
And now he waits for Jason Worth to do something with two out. Instead, he strikes out for the second time tonight. Sanchez has struck out 5. We've played 3 in game 2, and the Phillies lead 1-0. Fox is sponsored by Fusion, the 2010 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Get in and drive one. Our AT&T trivia question: how many times has a team lost the first 2 games of the postseason series at home and then gone on to win the series? The answer is 4. Never happened in the LCS. It's happened 3 times in the World Series. The 85 Royals over St. Louis, 86 Mets, 96 Yankees over Atlanta. The 86 Mets beat Boston. Once in the division series, the Yankees in 01 over the A's. Freddie Sanchez first up, the ball and a strike. Grounded out his first time. Now he takes strike 2.
Of a lot of tough pitches that Oswalt has thrown tonight, that was the toughest, that last one. Right at the knees on the outside corner.
And a strikeout, number 5. It starts the 4th inning for Oswalt. Sanchez 0 for 2. It'll bring in Aubrey Huff. He flied one into shallow left near the line his first time up. Takes a strike at the knees. The 0-1 is high. Huff has been with 5 different teams over the last 5 years. He has settled in here with San Francisco. He's been a good hitter. This has never been in the right spot to get a crack at it in the postseason. Flips another one into left. A long run again for Ibanez. 2 out. Coming up tomorrow night, ALCS game number 3 on TBS. There's the rest of the schedule in the ALCS. Game number 3 tomorrow night. They play on Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon. And the pitchers for game 3, Andy Pettitte with his 19 career postseason wins against Cliff Lee, who was 2-0 last year for these Phillies against the Yankees in the World Series. Now he takes them on as a member of the Texas Rangers. He's 6-0 now in his career in the postseason with an ERA of 1.44. Goodness. All those games are on TBS. We'll be back on Tuesday afternoon in San Francisco. The Giants go quietly in the 4th. Oswalt is on a roll. The Phillies lead by just 1. Little flavor of the feeling here in Philadelphia. It's been a fun day for Philadelphia sports fans so far. The Eagles have won. Phillies are leading here tonight, but just 1-0 as Rollins goes after the first pitch, pops it up, and Fontenot will let it drop. Nobody took charge, and Rollins is on to start the fourth.
Well, it was either Fontenot or Aubrey Huff's ball. Certainly Sanchez is not going to make the play. No excuse for this whatsoever. You will never see a fly ball in the infield drop that far away from an infielder. It's 5 feet away from Mike Fontenot. It's going to be a base hit, but it shouldn't be.
It's a base hit only because they can't decide who to give the error to.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
give a quarter to 4 guys.
Some of that comes from the idea that a pitcher can't catch a pop-up. And I understand that infielders handle the glove better, but I mean sometimes when it's right in front of the mound,
when it doesn't have a lot of hang time too. That's right.
Come on,
yeah.
The pitcher can handle it. They shag during batting practice. They catch fly balls every day.
Well, any one of 3 could have caught it. Fontenot, Sanchez, or Huff, and none did.
Here's the 0-1 to Ibanez. It's high. Ball and a strike. Mitch Williams, you were on that mound. You were more than capable of catching a pop-up, were you not?
Absolutely. And if I'm not going to catch it, I am going to be screaming Fontenot's name. Fontenot should have never even looked to Posey. That is not a play a catcher can make going away from it. That is the third baseman or the pitcher's ball all the way. And you can see Sanchez right there in the replay not saying a word. You can't do that. You're a traffic cop at that point.
He was saying something, but I don't know if it was loud enough for anybody to hear or if it was too late. Here's a pop-up into shallow right. And the crowd gets on the Giants, in this case Cody Ross, hoping that they'd get a chance to see another one drop.
You know what the Dodgers used to teach in their minor league system? That the pitcher would grab one guy and call the other one so the 2 guys wouldn't collide. In other words, if the play was to be Fontenot's, you'd grab Aubrey Huff and call Fontenot. That way the right guy is intended to catch the ball.
Or again, how about if the guy who's 5 feet away from it just catches it? But either way, the miscommunication puts the leadoff man on. It's a base hit. Ibanez fly to right. And that's how Jimmy Rollins gets his first hit of this LCS. 1 on, 1 out. Ruiz at the plate, rounded out to third his first time up. That's strike 1. Ruiz last night went deep into right. Wind is blowing left to right. Ball carried well that direction last night, not just on the ball hit by Ruiz, but later on a 2-run shot by Jason Worth. Cody Ross hit his 2 into left center for the Giants. That's inside, ball 2. Giants coming off their first division title since 2003. Felipe Alou was their manager. Beat Atlanta 3-1. First LCS since 2002. That's over but low, ball 3. Phillies, on the other hand, are trying to win their 3rd consecutive pennant. Trying to become the first team in the National League to do that since the Cardinals 42, 43, 44. Here comes a 3-1 from Sanchez. That's foul.
Yeah, to give you an idea of how long ago when the Cardinals won those 3 straight pennants. Stan Musial was in his second year in 1942. Stan still going strong at age 90, living in St. Louis. One of the great hitters in the history of the game. 7 batting titles.
Rollins stays put. 3-2 pitch is fouled out of play. We flash back to the 40s. There he is right in the middle of that team picture. The last team to win 3 straight National League pennants.
If there was ever anyone who earned the nickname The Man, it was Stan.
Runner goes this time, and Ruiz fouls it out of play. Good catch by a fan down to our right. 3-peat National League winners. Cubs did it 06 through 08. The New York Giants did it 2 different times, and then the Cardinals in the 40s. That's it. Phillies have won the last 2, beating the Dodgers in 08 and 09. Dealing with the Dodgers rival. The Giants 3-2 pitch, and that's a little slow roller. Sanchez picks it up and gets the out at first as Huff digs it out. Down to second is Rollins, 2 out.
Well, we've already seen someone run inside the line, Placido Polanco, earlier in the game. Had Ruiz been hit in the back with that ball or hit his left arm, he probably would have been called out by home plate umpire Dan Iasonia.
Here is Roy Oswalt. First pitch swinging, strike 1. That's out of play. That being said, that box, which is on the foul side, which you're supposed to be in, that running box, nobody's really in the middle of that running box ever.
Rarely.
I mean, unless they're rounding the back.
Not on a play at first,
no.
right.
You go right down the line. You're running that box. Would not be the most direct line to the bag. 2 foul balls off the bat of Oswalt. 2 strikes as Sanchez tries to get around that leadoff miscue in the middle part of the infield that went for a hit, a pop-up by Rollins. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ball 1 from Sanchez. Oswalt had 1 RBI during the regular season. Give Sanchez credit for settling back down after walking 3 in the first inning. Was not helped. There was an error. A ball hit by Polanco, by Fontenot, the third baseman. No damage since. Oswalt was ready to walk into the dugout and get his glove. Sanchez walked off the mound, and it's called ball 2.
Yeah, you had 2 pitchers going in opposite directions. Sanchez is going toward the Giant dugout. Oswalt toward the Philly dugout. Back to work.
Now Posey calls time. .73 pitches for Sanchez, trying to get through the 4th. Rollins takes 3rd as Oswalt fouls it back. Rollins still trying to, I think, prove to himself that his hamstring is healthy. Charlie Manuel said it's going to take something where he doesn't have to think about it and just has to react. For him to know whether it is. Otherwise, if he has to push it and think about it, he's been backing off. Here comes a 2-2. Good battle here put up by Oswalt.
Jimmy Rollins told me the other day that he would push that hamstring if it meant the Phillies going to the World Series or not, and not until.
Runner at second, 2 out, 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. Last night a pitch that barely missed from Halladay. Called a ball, led to an RBI double by Burrell, and was followed by an RBI hit by Uribe. A close pitch to Oswalt. Called a ball, and now a 3-2 pitch is popped up into shallow center, and Andres Torres is there. Torres hauls it in, and that's it. Leadoff hit, man left. Phillies have left 5 after 4. 1-0 Philadelphia. Back after this from your local Fox station. To give up a hit as he goes to the mound here in the 5th. Tonight's E-Trade stock watch. Certainly the stock for Sanchez is rising with what he's done his last 5 road starts and his career numbers against Philadelphia. The offense for the Philadelphia Phillies has been really, for the most part, shut down. Although the Phillies got past Cincinnati on the strength of their pitching. Came in hitting just .212 so far this postseason. Tonight they have 1 run on just 2 hits. But it's enough because of the pitching of Oswalt to this point. It counts 2-0. Matt Burrell is 0 for 1. There's a strike from Oswalt. Fell behind on the count 2-0 and took something off.
Slider and a fastball count.
Burrell last night 2 for 3. Had an RBI double and he pops it up. Foul territory. Ruiz has to deal with the wind into the on-deck circle and makes the catch. 1 out. Greg Gross is the hitting coach for the Philadelphia Phillies. We talked to him about the Phillies' approach coming in tonight against the lefty Jonathan Sanchez, the Giants.
Yeah, after the first, couple hitters, we were trying to get a zone, try to zone him, because he's been really tough the last time we faced him, and he had a lot better command. But we tried to take advantage of that. But it's a two-edged sword. Sometimes you get a little too patient and take some pitches with runners in scoring position that normally you'd be swinging at.
So is that something that may evolve here as we go, now that it looks like Sanchez has kind of settled in a little bit?
Yeah, he is. And unfortunately, when you're facing a good pitcher and he gets out of a jam like that, that's what can happen. And right now we just got to keep battling and try to get it back in the strike zone and do some damage.
I don't ask you about one hitter in particular when I let you go, and that's Ruiz, who's been so good. Cody Ross has just gone deep into left center field. He's got his 3rd home run, and he ties this game at 1. Unbelievable Cody Ross, who's got his 4th home run of the postseason, his 6th RBI, and whether he hits 8th or he hits 6th, he's making contact, and he has the first hit against Oswalt, and like last night against Halladay, it's a home run.
And it was a fastball on the inside part of the plate, just like last night, the 2 off Halladay. You have got to be kidding me. Cody Ross, right there. Last night, right there twice. You could draw a circle about 10 inches in radius and put all 3 pitches right in that area. Unbelievable.
Pitch is high to Fontenot.
Not only that, it's the 2nd no-hitter he's broken up this postseason. He broke up Derek Lowe's no-hitter in the 6th inning with the home run in Atlanta. And now he breaks up Roy Oswalt's no-hitter in the 5th.
Last night, if you want to even talk in those terms, Halladay hadn't allowed a hit until he went deep in the 3rd inning.
He had retired 7 in a row.
But you're right. I mean, it just seems to be the same pitch, the same location, and for Cody Ross, the same result. And for the Giants, it's a 1-1 game. Here is a 3-0 from Oswalt. It's called ball 4 and a 1-out walk. So now the go-ahead run is on. It's Fontenot. 2nd walk handed out by Oswalt.
Right here. Boom, boom.
That was last night.
Right. Same place. All fastballs.
Here is Renteria, who's 0 for 1. He takes a tailing fastball for strike 1. Renteria fly to right his first time up. 2 for 3 so far this postseason. And he digs his way back into the box. Life has been taken out of this crowd by one swing from Cody Ross, who had just 7 RBIs in 33 regular season games with the Giants. He's now got 6 RBIs in 6 games with the Giants in the postseason. One ball, 1 strike on Renteria. Edgar was on the disabled list 3 different times this season for San Francisco. Lost his starting job to Juan Uribe. That's high. 2-1. But now Uribe has an injured left wrist, and so Renteria back at short. According to Bruce Bochy, Edgar Renteria, who was on the disabled list with a partial tear of his left biceps, actually tore it all the way during the divisional series against the Atlanta Braves. So he's playing with a torn left bicep. Tearing it all the way is taking the pain out of it. He's out in front of that delivery from Oswalt, and the count 2-2.
Little slider again and a fastball count, and Renteria swings through it.
One on, one out, 2-2 pitch. Right at home plate. The Phillies, when they bat in the bottom half of this inning, will have the top of their lineup. Victorino, Utley, and Polanco against Jonathan Sanchez. A look over at Fontenot, who stole one base during the regular season, has won this postseason. He drew a walk after the home run hit by Ross. Now Renteria steps out. Line drive caught by Rollins, and that's out number 2. Good base running by Fontenot back to the bag as Rollins went up to get it.
Why is that good base running by Fontenot? Because if you're the runner on the first base with less than 2 outs, you can never be doubled up on the line drive to the left side of the infield, because you're only going to go to second if the ball gets through.
And now Sanchez with a wild swing, strike 1. Jonathan struck out his first time. Just trying to run into the ball. Meet it with his bat and see what happens. With 2 out, the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. Three pitches and a strikeout for Oswalt. That's number 6. But for Cody Ross, home run number 3. 2 last night off Halladay. And then tonight off Oswalt. He likes hitting against guys named Roy. We're tied at 1. How about the strikeouts racked up by Jonathan Sanchez in 11 1/3 innings pitched this postseason? 16. He got Victorino to start the game on 3 pitches. He struck out 5 tonight. 11 Atlanta Braves in Game 3 of the division series. And this game is tied 1-1 after the home run by who else? Cody Ross. Here's a 1-0 pitch. In at the knees from Sanchez. Eric Karros called out Shane Victorino in our pregame, saying he's got to get on and make something happen. He's so far 0 for 7 in this NLCS with 3 strikeouts. Up on the count now, 2-1. Part of the core with Ruiz, Utley, Rollins, Ryan Howard. Adding Victorino in, they have started 35 now straight postseason games, and that's down the left field line. Victorino will have an extra base hit to start this 5th. It's a double.
What makes Victorino dangerous on second base is his ability to steal third. So he's down there with nobody out. That ball past the diving Fontenot. So Victorino with the second Philly double of this ball game.
The change to the lineup by Charlie Manuel coming into Game 2 was to move Utley up into the number 2 spot. Here he is. 1 home run this postseason, 10 in his postseason career. The Phillies franchise record. Showing bunt and taking ball 1. Now he peeks down at Sam Perlazzo, the third base coach.
That's a decoy right there. He's trying to draw the third baseman in or the first baseman in. Aubrey Huff at first is not buying it. And I don't blame him. Chase Utley's too good a hitter to be bunting here.
Now Ramirez gets loose. Sanchez spun around, looked at Victorino, and the hitter Utley did not tip his hand. That's what the Giants were hoping for. I'm with you. I mean, Utley is a guy that, is a franchise leader in postseason home runs. He's got a swinger. 0 for 5 tonight with runners in scoring position of the Phillies. Now in a 1-1 game. That one is into right. Victorino will tag. Ross makes the catch. Here's the throw. Victorino advances, and Utley got his job done.
Good hitting by Chase Utley, pulling the ball and getting it deep enough for Victorino to go to third. Tagging up. And making it rather easily.
And now Polanco, who handles the bat so well, digging in. He's in the 3-hole in this lineup, trying to put Philadelphia back on top. Runner at third, 1 out. That's into right center field and will put Philadelphia back in the lead. Tagging and scoring is Victorino, who led off with a double. 2-1 Philadelphia in the 5th.
The Phillies had the ideal man up at home plate to drive in a run from third with less than 2 outs. More often than not, Polanco gets the job done.
Howard, who has walked and doubled tonight. The base is empty, and the Phillies right back out in front. 2-1 here in the 5th inning. Fooled on that pitch by Sanchez. Victorino got it started. Huntley moved him over.
Polanco drives him home with a sacrifice fly to center. And now Howard is on base for the third time tonight. Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball. If you are just joining us here in Philadelphia, this is game 2 of the NLCS. Jonathan Sanchez had to throw 35 pitches, walked a run home in the first. That's all the Phillies had. The game was tied in the top half of this fifth on the third home run by Cody Ross, third home run in this series. And now the Phillies are right back on top. Worth is 0 for 3, but in this inning, a double by Victorino. Utley got him over. Polanco got him in. 2-1 Phillies after 5 in game 2. Baseball and by John Hancock. The future is yours. 6th inning, good game. And the combination of Oswalt and Sanchez, total of 3 runs on 5 hits for the night. And there's Tim Lincecum. So much talked about with the blister. Middle finger on his right hand. He's working on it right now. It had calloused over, and now he's biting that callus off. That's a grounder foul outside first. 2 quick strikes on Andres Torres.
As we all know, I mean, calluses are what actually should be there, but you just have to keep fouling them down. They're on many tips of pitchers, index and middle fingers.
Here's the 0-2. A strikeout for Oswalt. He has struck out Torres 3 times. And that's 7 on the night for the Philadelphia right-hander.
All on high fastballs with Torres. You may remember Bob Brinley's comment when TBS did the LDS about Torres using a 35-ounce bat, and he has not been able to get that 35-ounce bat around on the high Oswald fastball tonight.
That's high to Freddie Sanchez, who's 0 for 2. Top 2 in this lineup for San Francisco have to get it going. That's high again. Top 2 in this lineup are 1 for 15 combined in this NLCS. Did not hit well against Atlanta during the division series.
8 for 50 in the 1 and 2 hole.
That is a base hit, so Sanchez is on. Ibanez gets it back in, and the tying run aboard for the Giants with their number 3 hitter and their top home run hitter from the regular season, Aubrey Huff, coming up. This for the Giants is their 53rd season in San Francisco. They moved out to California in 1958. The last World Championship came when they were in New York in 1954. Since 54, they've been to the World Series in 62. They lost to the Yankees. 89, lost to the A's. And then lost to the Angels in 02. Here's a foul off the bat of Huff into the glove of Polanco, 2 out. The Giants are working to try and get a win here tonight and carry a 2-0 advantage back home for a day game on Tuesday.
That 1962 World Series, by the way, won by the Yankees in 7 games, and yesterday was the 48th anniversary of Willie McCovey's famous line drive to Bobby Richardson to end the game. The tying run on at third base, and Orlando Cepeda on deck.
Buster Posey takes the ball.
I had a chance to play with Orlando Cepeda in 1967 and 8. He was the MVP in 1967. First unanimous choice. What a player he was. Hall of Famer. Cha-cha-cha.
1 ball, 1 strike on Posey. Buster's fly to center in his 2 at-bats. Now 1 for 6 in this series. Oswalt wants a different baseball.
We will see cha-cha-cha on Tuesday afternoon at AT&T Park.
And he'll be smiling.
Oh,
He's always got a big smile.
Always. Terrific guy.
Tying run at first with 2 out, 1 ball, 1 strike. Oswalt misses the outside corner, 2-1. The 2-1 is fouled back. Oswalt trying to get through the 6th. Phillies will have Rollins, Ibanez, and Ruiz in the bottom half. 2-1 Philadelphia. 2 out, 2-2 pitch. Sounded like he broke his bat. Rollins to first. Oswalt has been good tonight as we give you some images from Philadelphia here this evening. would last into the 6th. That's what he's done after pulling it all together through 35 pitches in the first. Walked Homer run, and he walked Jimmy Rollins, who leads it off. The bases loaded. Rollins with that walk and then a pop-up and went for a single that fell right in front of Sanchez. Lead off the 4th. Jonathan got around it. Here's the 0-1. A pop-up out behind short. Renteria's looking for help, and he makes the catch. Wow. A juggle at the end, and somehow Edgar Renteria held on.
Well, what a play. Ball hit the heel of the glove, popped out of the glove, and finally smothered by Renteria. A better view right here.
And that look from Edgar Renteria, who is unsigned past this year, doesn't know if this is it for his career, if he will try and hook up with another team going into 2011. Ibanez tonight 0 for 2, 0 for 5 in this series. Good breaking ball from Sanchez. Strike 2.
Renteria has always been the consummate professional. Absolutely revered in his country from which he reigns, Colombia, Barranquilla.
Ibanez strikes out, and Sanchez made him look bad. 2 out. Strikeout number 6 for the Giant left-hander. Chevrolet and baseball have teamed up to give fans a chance to win postseason tickets for an all-new 2011 Chevrolet Cruze. Register at worldseries.com/cruise for your shot at the big prize. With 2 out, nobody on, here is Ruiz. Strike 1. Ryan Howard for Philadelphia has been on base 3 times. Shane Victorino has doubled and scored a run. Polanco has an RBI. The other coming on a bases loaded walk picked up by Jimmy Rollins. That's it. Ruiz off balance after that swings, now in the hole 0-2. Oswalt in the 7th will work to Burrell, Cody Ross, and Mike Fontenot. Right down the middle, back-to-back strikeouts, 7 on the night. Sanchez has gotten better and better. 2-1 after 6. Back after this from your local Fox station. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. For the most sports, period, call 1-800-DirecTV. One stadium looks like it's already cleaned up across the street where the Eagles play, and this one is anything but. A lot of activity, and a 2-1 Philadelphia lead as Burrow leads it off in the 7th. 1 ball, 1 strike from Roy Oswalt.
The 2 baseball games and the football game have drawn almost 200,000 people to this area in about 24 hours.
Strike 2 on Burrow, who's trying to pump one out of here. On 1-2. Burrow is fooled and he strikes out. Strikeout number 8 for Oswalt. That'll bring in Cody Ross. And how about Cody Ross? Giants have hit 3 home runs in this series. Ross has all 3, including a 5th inning game-tying shot tonight. He's hit 4 this postseason, hitting .389, and in a postseason series, look at the company he's with. Babe Ruth, Rusty Staub, Willie Stargell, and Cody Ross. Hitting his team's first 3 home runs in a postseason series. And he flies one into center field. The wind will carry it some. Victorino back on the track. Round number 2. Everything's loud off the bat of Cody Ross.
Well, the thing that makes Cody Ross's home run tonight, I guarantee if you asked him this, he'll tell you. What makes it so special is that he was knocked down by Oswalt his first time up in the 2nd inning. This was the knockdown pitch. He ended up walking in that at bat. And then the next time up, he popped one.
Just got under that one to center.
Yeah, Joe, there is nothing that hitters love more than to get breezed and then to pop one out of the ballpark against the same guy. Next time up, payback.
And that little hop he has out of the batter's box is becoming his trademark here in the postseason.
Cody Ross's dad was a steer wrestler, and he used to want to be a rodeo clown. Nothing funny about his at-bats here in Philadelphia as far as the Phillies are concerned.
And there's nothing funny about being a rodeo clown. Dangerous work.
Yeah.
1-2 on Fontenot, 2 out, nobody on in the 7th.
I think he's in the right business.
Back to Oswalt. How good has number 44 been for Philadelphia? He is through 7, and he's allowed 1 run on 2 hits. The only run, the homer by him. Cody Ross. Here is our game summary. Polanco with a sac fly as the Phillies regained the lead after the home run in the bottom of the 5th. What Cody Ross has done, and both teams have combined for 38 strikeouts in this series. Time to stretch. Right now we join public address announcer Dan Baker for the introduction of God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join Tech Sergeant Jody Johnson of the Pennsylvania Air National Guard as she sings God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie to the ocean, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God
Tonight's game is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy? And by AT&T. Rethink possible. We look ahead to Game 3, and it'll be a matchup of Cole Hamels and Matt Cain. They're the numbers from what they did in the division series. Hamels was tremendous, and Cain had the bullpen blow a lead for him in Game 2 against Atlanta. Oswalt first up. Ball 1 from Sanchez. Now ball 2. Giants would love to coax Sanchez through this bottom of the 7th. Affelt and Ramirez getting loose. Sanchez is due up second in the top of the 8th. There's a strike. Get him through the inning and then lift him for a pinch hitter. Oswalt's 0 for 2. Dorino put the Phillies back on top of the leadoff double in the 5th, and he scored on the sac fly by Polanco. Now 2-2 on Oswalt. See what happened in the first inning with his pitch count. Comes number 100. And Oswalt lines one into center for a base hit.
On the 100th pitch of the night, Oswalt singles.
And that's it for Jonathan Sanchez. He persevered after a rough first inning. Gave up a couple of doubles. Now this leadoff hit on pitch number 100 ends his night. It's Oswalt who's trying to do it all. Ramirez coming in. Victorino coming up. What do we got, Pete? Gave up a leadoff base hit to Roy Oswalt. So 100 pitches on the night, 6+. 2 runs on 5 hits, struck out 7, walked 3, but all 3 of those walks in the first inning. Run after that, and here is Ramon Ramirez, who's picked up from Boston at the trade deadline. The Giants fortified their bullpen, also getting Javier Lopez a day from the Pirates.
Victorino, a very good bunter. He could be bunting here, but again, I think you waste his ability.
He does drop down a bunt. Fontenot gets the out at first, and down to second is Oswalt.
Third base was wide open after the throw. Any kind of base runner other than a pitcher would have gone to third. He could have walked to third. Watch as Fontenot throws to first. This is a catcher's responsibility to continue down third base. But of course, Oswalt, a pitcher, he could have walked to third base. Nobody was covered. Here it is right here. You can see it, all this space all over here.
And now Utley will be intentionally walked to bring up Polanco. So a hit by Oswalt, the sacrifice by Victorino, and Utley will get the free pass. And Tim is looking quizzically at his telestrator.
I did box that up. That's right.
That's okay.
I was running circles around that field.
Polanco already has a sac fly for an RBI. And he'll bat with 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Second time that Utley's been walked. Had a productive fly ball to right for an out to advance Victorino back in the 5th. So he doesn't have a hit. We look at the Geico in-game box score. Utley is hitless, but he was helpful in the 5th for Philadelphia. Victorino got that rally started with a double. RBI for Polanco on the sac fly, and the other RBI belongs to Rollins, who was handed a bases-loaded walk in the 1st. Here is Polanco, 2 on, 1 out. Ramirez. Ball 1. Talked about it last night. This bullpen for the Giants, very good during the regular season. ERA under 3 as a group. Second best in the league. There's a line drive base hit to center. It's Oswalt running, and they bring him to the plate. He was held up, but he's safe. Palazzo trying to hold him up, and Oswalt ran right through the stop sign. 3-1.
You said Oswalt was trying to do everything, and he is trying to do everything. How accurate is that? Watch Sam Palazzo, the third base coach, put up the stop sign. Ball is hit well to center. Hold it, hold it. He turned, looked, saw where the ball was. Aubrey Huff made the proper play of cutting it off. If he lets it go, it errantly goes toward first base. By hitting the mound, he has no chance. And Oswalt is safe.
And that for the Phillies makes them now 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position, as Polanco gets the first hit in that category in this NLCS. Polanco 2 RBIs, a 2-run lead, and Ramirez is knocked out.
Jeremy Affeldt is the third pitcher of the inning for San Francisco. He has not worked since the regular season. 31 years old, pitched for Colorado the postseason in 07. Got into all 4 games of that 4-game Red Sox sweep in the World Series. Second year with San Francisco, and he is right into it with 2 on, 1 out. Dealing with Ryan Howard, who is 2 for 2. Biggest lead of the night now for Philadelphia. Strike 1 on Howard.
We have followed Ryan Howard since he has come up. And against left-handed pitching, these are the best 3 consecutive at-bats that I've ever seen from Ryan Howard. Talked about the front shoulder. He walked his first time up, then a double to left field. His second time up and a single to center his last time up. But he is locked in against a left-handed pitcher, and that is unusual for Ryan in his career.
1 ball, 1 strike. Spent some time at the Eagles game earlier this afternoon. The Eagles won. They beat the Atlanta Falcons, and now the Phillies. Game 2 of this NLCS lead 3-1. Howard takes ball 2. Runners are going. Howard swings and misses, and it's a double steal for Philadelphia. Utley takes third. Polanco takes second.
Without a play. We talked about it in our opening last night about how opportunistic the Philly base runners are. That's stealing third, a specialty of Davey Lopes, the first base coach.
Infield comes in. 2-2 pitch. A big strikeout for Affeldt as he gets Ryan Howard. And now with Jason Worth coming up, with action for the Giants out in their bullpen, we'll see if Affeldt stays in.
Here's just some tough pitches by Jeremy Affeldt. With the count 2-1, the fastball and another fastball gets Howard.
You see if Worth, the Giants will pitch to Worth. Posey got down in his crouch, now stands up. First base is open. You've got a struggling Jimmy Rollins on deck. And the Giants will walk Jason Worth. Second intentional pass of this inning. It's Casilla. The right-hander gets loose. Switch hitter Jimmy Rollins will bat for the second time in this game with the bases loaded. That loads him up. And Bruce Bochy wants to turn Rollins around. Play a double switch. Make Rollins bat left-handed. Casilla coming in. Bases loaded. Sandoval takes over at third with the Phillies leading 3-1. get movies a month before Netflix. DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Tim McCarver, before this game, you talked about how this wasn't, quote-unquote, a must-win, but a game that the Phillies really needed to take to avoid going out there down 2-0, and Oswalt's been fantastic.
Well, I think that statistic and that number that where we said a team that lost the first 2 games in 41 years of postseason play, NLCS play, lost the first 2 games at home, has never won a series. So it's worth reiterating, and that's why it's such an important game. It'll be interesting to see how Roy Oswalt is in the top of the 8th inning when he goes back out there after running the bases.
Here is Casilla taking over the bases loaded, and he misses loaded Jimmy Rollins. He has a hit, has an RBI in this game, but still looking to find his stroke. These fans have been revved up. They have been great here tonight. A long day of sports in this area of Philadelphia. Across the street where the Eagles won, now the Phillies lead. Rollins trying to add to it. Time called at the plate. Casilla did not pitch in the first 3 games of the division series, and then came on, and the clincher worked in the 7th and into the 8th. Former Oakland A, and he has really elevated his game. He has become a big weapon for San Francisco out of the pen. But he's behind in the count here, 2-0. Casilla has stranded 25 of the last 27 inherited runners. He's picked up coming in from the bullpen. He's got the bases loaded here. And the 2-0. Rollins hits one into deep right center. Back at the wall. This ball is off the wall. 3 runs are going to score. Rollins will hold at second with a huge 3-run double. Philadelphia in the 7th. Ibanez, straight 1. to 98 from Casilla. Saw that quick shot of Matt Payne, who will get the ball in Game 3 on Tuesday afternoon. He will hook horns with Cole Hamels, who is on a tremendous roll for the Phillies. Ibanez lines to Sandoval. The inning is over, but the Phillies get 4. Roy Oswalt on the mound has struck out 8. In the bottom of this 7th, he started it with a hit, scored a run, running through a stop sign. All smiles in Philly. They're up 6-1. 6-1. Philadelphia on top. A 3-run bases loaded double hit by Jimmy Rollins moments ago. Took some of the pressure out of the rest of this for Oswalt. And if Oswalt stumbles at all here in the 8th, as he deals with Renteria, Romero a left-hander and Ryan Madsen a right-hander getting loose. There's a strike. Renteria 0 for 2, lined out to short his last time up. Here's the 1-1. Pop up, right side, Ryan Howard, 1 out. We talk about Roy Oswalt. Look at the Geico in-game box score for San Francisco. Just 2 hits. One for Freddie Sanchez, a single, and another night. So that means another home run for Cody Ross, which he hit in the top of the 5th, tied the game at 1. Sergio Romo gets loose. Bruce Bochy wants to get some of these guys some work for this series. Has a travel day tomorrow and then game 3 on Tuesday. That was the case last night, if nothing else, for Charlie Manuel when he got Lidge into the game in the 9th inning. An eventful inning, but a scoreless one. This is Sandoval, his first at bat of this NLCS.
This at bat could determine whether Bruce Bochy will start Sandoval on Tuesday afternoon in San Francisco. Hit a ball well right here. Bruce has told us that Sandoval's really had a tough year after batting .330 last year. Tremendously popular in San Francisco. If they ever take it with a very personable Pablo Sandoval.
2 balls and a strike from Oswalt. For the switch hitter Sandoval, I think you have to look at game 3 with the lefty Cole Hamels. The other option at third is Fontenot, hits left-handed.
Yeah, right.
Sandoval may get his chance. That's on Tuesday at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, right here on Fox. Three-one pitch. Full count. That's provided Uribe is not an option. He was a late scratch, is bothered by a left wrist injury that is going to get looked at tomorrow.
Wow. With the recent study of concussions, the foul tips in the mask are no longer looked at as frivolous. Not that they ever were, but certainly now catchers looked at like the quarterbacks in football.
Just the impact.
Yeah. A lot of people think that because it hit the mask, it's not jarring. Well, it is.
Speaking of concussions, there's a nasty hit in that Eagles game. And as Sandoval takes a walk, Jay Glazer of Fox Sports reports that Deshaun Jackson suffered a severe concussion and has memory loss from that hit that he took from Dante Robinson today. So that is one of the serious weapons in the NFL, one of the most electric players who has been fun to cover the last couple of years, and certainly all of us at Fox Sports wish him well. 1 on, 1 out, and a strike to Andres Torres, who has struck out 3 times. That walk to Sandoval, the 3rd of the night by Oswalt. Andres Torres, who is 1 for 8 in this series, is in danger of striking out for the 4th time tonight. Every time Oswalt's gotten him, it's been with high fastball.
Right.
Pitch a little down, and Torres got a piece of it. 32-year-old outfielder, 13 years, 6 franchises. He's taken over the center field spot, formerly held by former Philadelphia Philly Aaron Rowan. Here's the 0-2, and he changes up on him and strikes him out. 9 strikeouts for Roy Oswalt.
After striking out on the high fastball 3 straight times, nobody saw this coming, including Torres.
So that's now 6 times that the leadoff hitter for the Giants has struck out in this series in 2 games. Sanchez trying to pump one out of here. Strike 1. Big swing from the number 2 hitter, who's 1 for 3. But he has struck out, grounded out, single. One on, 2 out. Strike 2. Ball 1. Into center field, a base hit. In a 5-run game, the Giants have 2 on with 2 out. That was the 106th pitch of the night for Oswalt.
I think Charlie Manuel could make a move for J.C. Romero right here. It would make a lot of sense to bring in Romero, the left-hander, to face Huff.
We'll let you listen to the ovation for Oswalt, who was terrific. Instead, he's going to leave him in, and he gets an ovation that way. Wow. A flair for the dramatic from Charlie Manuel,
I should say.
And so now Aubrey Huff will bat with 2 on, 2 out. One swing of the bat by Huff, who led the Giants in home runs this year. Make this, he rides one out in a 2-run game. Strike 1.
Aubrey Huff has not been getting around on Oswalt. 3 times he has hit the ball to the left side. Twice to left and once in foul territory. Down the 3rd baseline.
Ball 1. Charlie Manuel telling us before game 1 last night, I don't feel the need to put my imprint on every game. He likes to let his players just play. And he trusts Oswalt here in the 8th. Behind the plate for Ruiz. Out of play, strike 2. Phillies wants to go out and make sure here with the count of 1-2 on Huff.
Yeah, I think if you're Oswalt, you're thinking hard stuff because Huff has not been getting around on the fastball all night. So if he's going to pop one and make it a game for the Giants again, make it the stuff that he's made outs on earlier. And that's the fastball.
There's a fastball, and Huff can't get around. To center, Victorino grabs it. 1-8 for Oswalt. (6-1) into the bottom of the 8th. The 27-year-old right-hander was 5-3, 2.18 ERA during the regular season. Deals with Ruiz. Strike one. Romo, who struggled in Game 2 of the division series. And Game 3 gave up that go-ahead home run hit by Hinsky. Fools Ruiz with that pitch, and the count 0-2. Clubhouse guys must hide the razors during October.
Fear the beard, Joe. Come on.
Well, things like Brian Wilson's, but he's not. He and Romo not the only two with facial hair on this San Francisco team, as Ruiz strikes out for out number 1. Tonight's game is sponsored by Travelers.
Insurance for auto, home, and business. And by BlackBerry. Well, now the night is officially over for Oswalt as Ross Glode, who pinch hit here last night and struck out in the ninth inning, bats with 1 out, nobody on. Strike 1.
If the Phillies win this game, this will guarantee, of course, a Game 5, and we will see the pitching matchup of last night. Roy Halladay and Tim Lincecum. That'll be Game 5 on next Thursday evening.
The pitch in under the hands of Glode, strike 2. After Glode, back to the top of the order in Victorino. So the numbers for Oswalt: 8 innings, 1 run on 3 hits. Only run was the home run by Cody Ross. 3 walks, 9 strikeouts for Oswalt. Madsen will take over in the ninth. Here comes a 1-2. 2-2.
These first 2 games, the Phillies and the Giants on a record pace for strikeouts in an NLCS. 23 last night combined, 17 tonight.
Full count.
Indication of just how good these pitching staffs are.
Philadelphia's pitching staff shut down Cincinnati in the first round, and San Francisco shut down the Atlanta Braves. With 1 out, nobody on, a 3-2 pitch to Ross Glode. From Romo. Hard hit. Backhanded pickup by Sanchez. 2 out. And time now for tonight's BlackBerry game summary. A lot of Roy Oswalt. Great on the mound. Good with the bat, with the legs, the slide. And then Rollins. The 2-out, 3-run double in the bottom of the 7th. 4-run 7th to make it 6-1, and that's what it is here in the bottom of the 8th. Victorino has a double tonight, also a bunt, breaks his bat, drops one into left center for his second hit. Great pitching matchup tomorrow night on TBS. Game 3 of the American League Championship Series with Andy Pettitte, Cliff Lee, veteran left-handers. That's at 8 o'clock on TBS. Lee has picked up this postseason right where he left off last year when he worked for the Phillies.
And doing it about in the same way with the fastball.
Utley chops one to Huff, and that's it for the first 8 in Game 2. Top of the 9th inning rolls in. Ryan Madsen will take over. 6-1 Philadelphia.
Ryan Madsen takes over for Philadelphia. Roy Oswalt is in line for the win. Again, 8 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks. The home run allowed, but he also chipped in with a base hit. Scored a run, running through a stop sign in the 7th. Oswalt did exactly here tonight the Phillies hoped for when they picked him up from Houston in July. Madsen, who's got great stuff, misses outside, ball 1. Buster Posey, Pat Burrell, and Cody Ross for the Giants here in the 9th inning, down by 5. 1-0. 2-0. Posey tonight is 0 for 3, 1 for 7 in this series. Charlie Manuel will hand the ball to Cole Hamels in Game 3 on Tuesday, and he will deal with Matt Cain. That's ball 3. The 3-0 is ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk to Posey to start the 9th. The Giants have to hope that's the start of something big with Pat Burrell coming in.
Well, the Giants need base runners, and I would imagine Pat will be taking a strike. 4 straight balls to Posey. Try to make Madsen throw a strike before you resume your at bat.
Now Lidge has to crank it up. Burrell tonight has fouled out twice and struck out. And up there swinging, down by 5 after a 4-pitch walk, strike 1. Burrell started this game having hit .280 with 3 homers, 7 RBIs since he left Philadelphia after the World Championship in 2008. Count even to the ball and a strike. Here's a 1-1. Ball 2.
When you're all over the place, you're not going to get pitches like that, and Ryan knows that. 6 out of 7 balls to the first 2 hitters here in the 9th inning.
And so the count's 2-1. And Burrell hits one in the air to left. Ibanez back in on the move, makes the catch at the track. 1 on, 1 out, and a nice running grab by Ibanez here in the 9th.
And you can hear the crowd yelling, Raul, good play.
And now meeting on the mound as Ruiz goes out to talk to Madsen. With Cody Ross digging in, I'm sure Ruiz is saying, look, I've been sitting back here, and it doesn't matter who's been on the mound. Don't give this guy a fastball middle in because he knows what to do with it.
That's right. He has known what to do with it the last 2 nights. 2 home runs last night, 1 tonight.
Sets up away, and Madsen drills the outside corner. A walk, a homer, and he flied to deep center. That's the night for Cody Ross. The 0-1. Ball 1. That skips in. Ruiz knocks it down. Ball 2.
Both teams will fly to San Francisco tonight after the game. They have red-eye charters. Try to get enough rest and some sort of adjustment for their bodies to play a day game on Tuesday. 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific.
Here's a 2-1. On the hands, fouled away, strike 2. Madson's 2-2 pitch is high, a full count. We saw Ishikawa in the on-deck circle. Pitcher spot is due up next. If Oswalt wins tonight, he will be lifetime 10-0 in this park, 6-0 as a Philly. That's strike 3, 2 out.
Something the Phillies have not seen Cody Ross do a lot of, and that's take a strike.
And so Ishikawa will bat 0 for 2 this postseason. Last night got into the ballgame, was hit by a pitch. That was with Lidge on the mound. Philadelphia 1 out away from a double dip win in this area for their sports teams. The Eagles with a 31-17 win over Atlanta. It's a 6-1 Philly lead over the Giants here in the 9th with 2 out. The 0-1. Line drive, base hit into right. Turning and going to third is Posey, and it's 1st and 3rd with 2 out. And so game 2 lives on. The batter will be Renteria. Heard Ruiz whistle into the dugout. Now Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, will come out and talk. With Lidge getting ready in the bullpen, and Madsen trying to nail down the 27th out.
Over the years, in situations where his team needs base runners, Edgar Renteria in these situations has tried to bunt for a base hit, with the Giants trailing by 5.
So the meeting is over. Renteria will step to the plate for the 4th time tonight. He's 0 for 3. If he can reach, Sandoval would be the batter. Giants need to get the next 2 on to have a chance. Over but low, ball 1. A 1-0 from Ryan Madsen, 1st and 3rd, 2 out. Chased it up. It's a ball and a strike. This crowd tries to crank it up again. Giants had been involved in all 1-run games this postseason, 4-1. Overall, coming into tonight, trailing by 5 here in the 9th. Strike 2. A 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Full count. Runner at first takes off. Renteria grounds it to the left side. Rollins has to hurry. Game 2 to Philadelphia. For Philadelphia to even the series behind one of their 3 big guns in the rotation, Roy Oswalt, who was terrific here tonight. And this long, fun day for Philadelphia sports fans ends in a Phillies 6-1 win to even this NLCS. Tonight's Travelers game-changing play will just give it to the night for Roy Oswalt. He struck out 9. Here's a sample. He got a base hit, scored a run, and was the big reason why the Phillies have evened this series at a game apiece. Down to Ken Rosenthal. Ken.
Thanks, Joe. Jimmy, let's first talk about Roy Oswalt. Not just his pitching, but what about his base running?
That was comical. You know, Roy got those stiff hips, and it looked like he was made out of cardboard running down the line. But you know what? He had what it took tonight.
Yourself, your first 2-hit game since September 8th. The first one was a little funky, but the 3-run double, that broke the game open. What does that do for your psyche?
Well, the first one, I put my little masse on there, my little airtime masse. And that just kind of, took the 0 off the board. And, I knew it was just a matter of time. And, when they went ahead and rocked Jason, it was only one thing to do, and that was to come through for the team. And I got a pitch to hit and didn't try to do too much with it, and found a gap. And, 3 runs came across, and I'm thankful for it.
Jimmy, it's been so difficult for you guys to score runs in the postseason and at various times this season. What does this do for the team going into San Francisco just to erupt like this offensively?
Well, it puts us back at 1-1. There's no doubt about that. They snuck the game out, and that's what good teams do. But scoring runs is how you win ball games. You need great pitching, there's no doubt about that. But if you don't put anything across the board, it really doesn't matter. So hopefully, we relax a little bit more when we have runners in scoring position to come through. We have hitters that like to hit in that situation, and just a matter of time.
Last question. How healthy are you right now?
Tonight I felt pretty good. I was up at first base, 3-2, and, we had to hold on, and David came over and said, Charlie says he wants you to go. And I think he was lying, but I think he wanted me getting in motion. I ran a couple, it didn't bother me. And, with Sanchez being as slow as he was to the plate, I'm like, worst case scenario is I will be safe.
Jimmy, thanks very much. Joe, back to you.
He is fun to listen to.
He is.
That great Jimmy Rollins smile. And for a long flight to San Francisco, the Phillies will be happy aboard their charter. This series is even at a game apiece. Roy Oswalt, brilliant as the starter. The Phillies offense woke up. Giants won last night. Phillies won tonight. Game 3 on Tuesday. Chris and the guys coming up after the break.